Trust in Democrats is shot right now, but there is one thing that they can do to fix it, and I'll talk about that in this video. Mainly, nobody trusts them because of two things right now. The first is obvious, which is that Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, which nobody approves of, not even really Democrats at this point. But the second is that Congress just announced that COVID, the lab leak theory, the conspiracy theory that everyone said it was in fact not a conspiracy theory, and we know this. We've known this for years, so you might be watching this like, yeah, okay, Josh, like, whoop-de-doo. But here's the thing. Other government agencies as well have come out in the recent months and said, yeah, most likely it came from a lab. But conservatives have been saying this for years and years and years, and Congress has just come out with a 520-page report. I skimmed it. I'll confess I didn't read the whole thing, obviously, because I'm not a crazy person. But Congress came out with a 520-page report saying that, yeah, it came from Wuhan. I think Jon Stewart really said it best. It kind of sums up the reason why conservatives just assumed it came from the Wuhan lab of virology. But Jon Stewart, no conservative, by the way, said it best when he likened basically COVID to chocolate. And he said that if some delicious, one day, this is a great clip. I can't play it because they won't let me, unfortunately. But if some delicious chocolatey disease came out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, it would be safe to assume that it came from the Hershey factory. Like, it's not rocket science. We know where, if there's a SARS-CoV disease that came from bats, and there happens and it comes from Wuhan, China. We know that for a fact. And in that same place, there happens to be a lab where they test SARS-CoV on bats. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear where it came from. In any case, for all the evidence that we've had for all these years, we still were told it was a theory by the mainstream media. And today it is not theory. It is fact. And no one can tell you otherwise, because before people could say, well, you think that, but it's just theory. We have hard evidence now from Congress, and you can go read the 520-page report if you want, that in fact it is not conspiracy theory, it's true. And again, you might be thinking, oh Josh, I don't care about this anymore. This was years ago for me, but I'll tell you why you should really care about this, because whenever something happens like this, it's a reminder to independents that Democrats and the media lie their butts off. And so these reminders actually matter a lot, even though COVID might be in the back, which honestly, I don't want to think about COVID that much. It's important to remind people who are not going to always vote Republican the liars that Democrats and media are, because unfortunately people do forget. And I know it sounds crazy. I don't know how they could possibly forget that, because it's like forgetting that the sky is blue, but they do. One fascinating thing in the report, in fact, is that Anthony Fauci did indeed lie to Congress about the origins of the disease, which is called perjury, by the way, which is illegal. And I'll get to that in the last segment, because that actually has massive implications for what Joe Biden is going to do in the next few weeks. He knew, again, Anthony Fauci knew where it came from. He lied. He knew because he funded it. He literally was funding the Wuhan lab of virology. In any case, this is why it really matters. Democrats lied about this for years and said that we were all crazy if we believed it. And usually, this is the thing. If you're talking about reminders, we want to remind independents who Democrats are. The reminder has to be a good reminder, because usually when Democrats do this, they kind of just get away with it. They lie. The fact-checking, the true fact-checking comes out, and they find that the Democrats have been lying this whole time, but by that time it's past. It's like it is right now. It's been years since COVID. We don't care anymore. But because the news cycle goes so fast, this is why people forget it. COVID's very different. COVID is actually really different, I think. And it's different because it upended everyone's lives for at least 2 years. If you lived in a really liberal city, it upended your life for like 3 or 4 years, which is crazy. If you lived in like Wyoming, then you maybe got upended for like 4 months, and lucky you. But this revelation that COVID definitely came from Wuhan, the Institute of Virology there, it hits harder because of the fact that it upended people's lives. It's not a lie Democrats can just get away from, and it's going to hurt their credibility, which I know it's hard to say because their credibility is basically zero, but I really think it will, and I think it will have massive implications for future elections. Guys, if you're a true conservative, which if you're watching my channel, I hope you are. I guess if you're not, that's cool too. I appreciate you watching. If you're a true conservative, though, you need Daily Wire Plus. Right now, they're running the best deal I've ever seen them run. I'm a partner with them. It's 50% off for Cyber Week. If you go to the link in my description below, you support my channel, but you also get that 50% off. So again, you got to go do that. You get, if you don't know what's on Daily Wire Plus, because I know some people don't know, you get all of Matt Walsh's documentaries. What is a Woman? Am I Racist? You get all of Jordan Peterson's exclusive content that he's done with Daily Wire Plus. It's really fantastic. He actually has a new series coming out this week. So again, you get 50% off. Go to the link. You support me. You get that off. You can also send it as a gift to someone for Christmas. So if you don't know what to get your conservative brother-in-law, for instance, or uncle or anybody, go get them that. It's fantastic. Again, go to the link in the description below and you can do it there. So Joe Biden pardoned Hunter Biden. We knew this would come. We've talked about this a lot. But listen to what Karine Jean-Pierre said about Biden's future pardons that are coming in the coming weeks.
How soon could the next round of, pardons could come?
I don't have a timeline for you. As you know, this usually happens towards the end. And so the president is going through that process. I'm not going to get ahead of him, but you can expect more announcements to come.
More to come. So who is it? That's what we have to think about. When she's saying more to come, that my mind instantly goes to who is it going to be, right? And I'll tell you one person that I think it will be, and one person I would like it to be. Like I think it should be, but I don't think it's going to happen. The first person who I think it will be for sure is Anthony Fauci. And if you've been paying attention, you know that Anthony Fauci has actually not been convicted of anything. And he should be. He should be convicted of things, but he's not. And usually, traditionally, you pardon someone who has been convicted of something. But just like Biden corruptly did with Hunter Biden and probably will do for himself, I guess you could add that to the list of people I think Biden is going to pardon. He's going to pardon himself. But just like he pardoned Hunter Biden, he is going to preemptively pardon Fauci for anything that he could possibly be prosecuted for. Because if you didn't know, that's what he did for Hunter Biden. He pardoned him of the tax crime and the gun crime that he committed, convicted of those, but he also preemptively pardoned him of anything else during a certain time span. Happened to be the time span, by the way, that Joe Biden was vice president of the United States. He preemptively pardoned him so that he would be protected, Hunter Biden, and Joe Biden would be protected as well. And I think he's going to do the same thing for Fauci. It's very ludicrous, like it is, but they both got fat and happy from Big Pharma, so I think it makes a lot of sense that they're going to be covering each other's butts. And yes, this is the crazy part. Some of you might be thinking, is that legal to preemptively pardon someone? It actually is. And that's what's tough about all of this. It's not, I wouldn't say it's politically a good thing that should happen or a good norm that should just be in our politics. But if you look at the Constitution, it seems like most people agree that it is legal, but it really shouldn't happen. And I think that is what Joe Biden is going to do. So that's who I think Joe Biden is definitely going to pardon. But here's who I think he should pardon. Donald Trump. That's who I think he should. And why? Here's the deal, guys. And this might be a controversial take on the right. This is the deal. As a Republican, I don't need Biden to pardon Trump. Like, I'm not saying that he should pardon Trump because I think Trump's going to jail. Trump's not going to jail because if Trump is convicted, or he has been convicted, once he has a sentencing, Trump can just pardon himself. And believe me, he will. So I don't need Biden to do it. Trump won the presidency. Maybe if Trump hadn't won, then I'd be like, I'd like Biden to pardon Trump. I don't think Trump deserves to go to jail. But what I'm saying is that Biden has to do this to save face, essentially, from all the corruption that he's doing, because he has to do it. If he pardons Hunter Biden, which he already has, himself and Fauci, people will be out for blood for the Democrats. I mean, even Democrats are going to be leaving in droves because that level of corruption and insider dealing will not go over well with voters. It just won't. And the only thing Biden could do to appear more like a moderate on his way out is pardon Donald Trump, I think. And frankly, this is the crazy thing. I think that's such a slam dunk for Biden. I'm surprised he hasn't already done it. I really think that would be such a slam dunk for him because, again, people remember the last thing that people do. If Joe Biden stepped out of office, pardoned all of his buddies and himself, that is going to continue on the legacy of corruption. And it'd be well fit because that has been his whole presidency. But instead, if Joe Biden does all of that, and then the last thing he does is pardon Donald Trump, whether Donald Trump needs it or not, he doesn't need it, it's still going to look very good. And people are going to remember Biden as a more benevolent president than he really was. And again, it's such a slam dunk. I can't believe he wouldn't do it. Maybe he will, but I don't think he's going to do it. And politically speaking, if Biden hadn't pardoned Hunter, it would have been a slam dunk on the other side for Trump to pardon himself, because you have to pardon yourself if you've been convicted of something unlawfully, like Trump has been. But also, I would definitely support Donald Trump, just politically speaking, pardoning Hunter Biden as well. That would have been a slam dunk. And I know some Republicans would have been very pissed, and you might disagree with me on this, and I know Republicans would have been pissed about him pardoning Hunter, but I am telling you guys, if either Biden or Trump is willing to do it, it will look so good in the eyes of just the average day electorate. It really will. People will see whoever does that as the benevolent one. And so I think if Trump has the opportunity to do something like that, he should. I think Biden, I don't really want Biden to do it in terms of, I think it will make him look better, and I don't really want Biden to look better or Democrats to look better, but just knowing him, yes, it would help him. And because at this point, Biden looks about as corrupt as you can look, and the party is looking as corrupt as it could look, it would be a slam dunk for Democrats. So again, just think about it logically here. What's the last and final thing that he could do to shake that legacy of corruption? Pardon the man that he originally prosecuted. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.